This is a traditional technique inherited from our ancestors. This technique requires precision and speed skills. This is not just a fishing technique but a traditional culture that unites oneself with nature. Welcome back with me, Lieutenant Banana. As usual, in the next 8 minutes I will hunt fish using traditional techniques inherited from our ancestors that have been passed down from generation to generation. As usual, the night was quite cold and I had arrived at a pond near a residential area. With a spear and flashlight in hand, slowly but surely I began to monitor every movement in the pool with full concentration and patience, patiently waiting for the right moment to spear. A single target began to appear among the shadows of the calm water. I immediately took a position and, boom, the explosion from the first spear sounded loud enough to break the calm of the water, and one wild fish was caught perfectly. The spear landed on the fish's body, and the fish bag began to fill up. After getting the first fish that was caught perfectly, I immediately rushed back around the pond, still in the same pond, and without waiting long, the target was seen again and immediately hid behind the glare of the flashlight. I immediately stuck my spear, and the second spear boom sounded quite loud, so that the other fish around it ran. I waited for what would happen, and thankfully the spear hit the target, but its position was very difficult to lift to land. I stuck myself in that position for quite a while. But finally the second fish was successfully secured and put into the bag. What a tense execution. I continued to explore the small ditch. After only a few steps I immediately found a target that was about to run away. I pulled out the spear, then pointed it at the target and let go. Boom, the spear made a sound again. The sound of the spear mixed with the sound of the gurgling water and I caught the target again. It turned out to be a tilapia fish. The night was getting colder and then, I explored pond after pond that was still next to a small water channel. This time the pond was filled with water hyacinth mixed with weeds. In the distance a shadow seemed to move, breaking the water. Of course it was my prey fish. I approached it and prepared to throw my proud spear. I positioned my strength and instinct, and the spear shot out quickly, breaking the night wind. Boom, the explosion was quite loud, of course making the fish bounce. I raised my spear that was stuck in the fish's body. I managed to catch a fish covered in mud.
Good. Whoa. Good.
The bag started to fill with fish and started to feel heavy. I went back to tracing the small channel again. Suddenly a big fish appeared on the surface right in front of me. With my reflexes and hunting instincts, with a quick movement I stabbed my spear. I don't know what happened, whether it hit or not. I slowly pulled out the spear, and was a bit surprised that the spear hit the target, hitting the fish's tail. A bit panicked I pulled the spear out to land, then quickly walked to a safe place. It turned out that what I got was a big catfish. I was very happy. The burden that was previously heavy on my shoulders was slightly reduced, even though the fish continued to fight and wanted to escape from the spear's grip.
Wow.
After successfully catching a big catfish, I walked home while passing the pond that I had passed before, hoping that there would be a fish that would return to the edge. My body felt tired and sore, but in that tiredness my gaze was fixed on a large figure that was under the surface of the water. Of course that made me curious. I was surprised. I immediately threw the spear with full precision and power, because I knew the fish was very big. Of course its power was very strong when it wanted to escape from the spear. Boom, the explosion of the spear sounded very loud again. The water was already murky under the surface of the water. The big fish struggled. I pressed my spear hard. And sure enough, when the fish was big and rebelled when I wanted to take it, my heart became even happier, curing my cold and tiredness.
Oh.
Dia mau pai, ini dia nang mamarat na. Jauh.
Oh. Wow.
I have passed through pool after pool of small rivers. One by one the fish have been caught. Although not much, but for me it is more than enough, and the fish bag is already very full. And when the night crawls towards dawn and the darkness begins to change to light, we end this hunt not only with the catch, but with a deep sense of gratitude. Every fish we bring home is a silent witness to the hard work, patience, and skills inherited from our ancestors. The spears we hold are not just tools, but symbols of honor and a sacred relationship between humans and the surrounding nature. In the silence of the night, the sound of water, and the dim light of flashlights, we are one with nature, maintaining traditions, caring for heritage, and passing on stories that will never fade as long as the water is still wavy and the stars are still shining. We meet again another time. Thank you for taking the time to watch my video. Hopefully entertained, and may we all be blessed by God.